athletic related or academically related or just in your personal life. So that's really important to us, and the SAC board has worked really hard on implementing that, and that's about it. So with that being said, I hope everyone can attend our events this week, and this is the kickoff to that. So thanks, and let's have a great week.
So Dr. Amanda Edwards from UB Counseling Services unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but we wanted to take a minute and just reintroduce you, remind you of the services that are available across campus. We have a comprehensive counseling service staff available to you as student athletes. So listed up here are the hours, the locations, and the different services that are provided. I also want to just mention, before we get into Asher's presentation, that you may hear some difficult discussion tonight, and if for whatever reason you need to step out, there is some staff in the back that can support you as well. So if that, if anything hits you and you feel like you need to just take a moment and step out if you're feeling emotional, our staff is in the back to support you. Okay, so without further ado, Asher. So tonight, it is my pleasure to welcome back a distinguished member of our UB Athletics family. Asher Beasley was a standout athlete in our track and field program, having competed at 5 Mid-American Conference championships between indoor and outdoor track. What you will learn about Asher tonight is a story that connects us all. A story of passion for her sport, for being true to herself, for finding out the hard way who she is, and for learning to love herself through the struggle. I vividly remember a day back in January of 2014, a very raw and vulnerable day in Asher's life. Asher was a junior at the time and was in the midst of her indoor season. She stood at the doorway of my office in tears and shaking. She came in and shut the door and said, "I just came from health services. I'm pregnant." That day, Asher shared so many emotions: fear of losing the dream she had worked so hard for, fears of disappointing herself and others, and fear of the unknown. As Asher did before that day and has continued to do since then, she proved to herself who she is capable of being, and has since grown into the amazing woman, leader, mentor, mother she was meant to become. And she's enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Asher Beasley.
It is an honor to be here today in front of y'all, especially since I was sitting here not too long ago, actually competing with some of you guys. But today, I'm here to bring awareness to a very touchy subject, basically a subject that we have been conditioned as athletes to ignore, which is mental illness. I know as an athlete, I constantly heard and was told to be mentally tough. And we need to be mentally tough. There is no doubt about it. What we do, we need that. We need to be mentally tough to push our bodies beyond its limits. We need to be mentally tough to persevere through our failures and our struggles, because we're going to fail and defeat in our sports. We need to be mentally tough to push through and fight through the doubts that come through our mind on our journeys to our dreams, because we all want to make it to the next level. And I'm here today, soon you're going to learn about my story, and there was 2 big reasons why I wanted to tell people and to get my story out there. Was because, one, I knew a lot of my fellow athletes were also suffering in silence. I knew there was girls, teammates who were going through the same thing, experienced the same thing, and were too afraid to talk to anyone about it. I'm doing this for my teammate Archie, who committed suicide here at this university because of his silent struggles. I'm doing this for Solomon Jackson, who died. He was a great friend of mine and a great football player, and I know a lot of his friends that could not speak on their grief, and I watched them turn to drugs and alcohol because they were so depressed at his passing. So today I really do, guys, hope you enjoy this film and learn something from it. And I really hope that after today we have a new idea of mental strength, because I know everyone is going through something, whether it be athletics or life, that we can't really or don't really want to tell people. But today I really hope that you will find the strength to and the bravery to share the things that you are struggling with in the dark. Thank you.
In our skin, there is something more between us, something invisible, a thread that connects our eyes, a very thin needle in a haystack somewhere in each human heart. It does not need to be explained nor talked about. Perhaps it's communicated via the right smile or the wrong one. She saw me, and I saw her in return, with her wide, eager eyes, with that smile, with her pain. That thin needle in each of our hearts did not need to be sewn, did not need to be heard. It was felt. It was felt with a touch of grief. She trusted me, I trusted her. In the last day of class, I cautiously showed her the university's paper, the spectrum with the article about her and her photo on it. She was strong enough to ask me with her pained eyes to please not talk about it. When she left that day, I told her out of instinct, who knows, maybe my next film will be about you. Several months later, she emailed me, asked me to mentor her, asked me to be seen, to be heard. With luck and patience, I started hearing her story. The pain of a mother, a young woman's love, the innocence of her hope.
Prior to me being contacted by the student writer who wanted to do a story on me, I was trying to find ways to tell my story and to get everything I wanted off my chest about what I was going through and the things that I was facing at the time. One of the writers that worked for the Spectrum, she contacted me wanting to do a story on me about my experience being an athlete and a mother. I knew the story that she was looking for wasn't going to be the story I was going to give her. But the morning the article came out, it was far from what I thought it was going to be. Instead of the truth, it was lies. The timeline was off. There was a lot of misinformation. It really made me feel worse. It did nothing for me but break my spirit and make me want to hide away even more. Because it just reminded me how alone I really was. It reminded me that even when I tried to speak out, it kind of made me feel that I shouldn't tell my story. It discouraged me. And it's weird how God brings people in your life, you know? Like whoever, I would have never thought the first day of class that you would be the one that this will all unfold in front of. But it just took you one word, one thing to make it seem like he sees me. The one thing you said at that last day of class was I, you know, who would ever thought like I would want to do my next project on you? It's your life, you're so interested in your article. And it took that one thing, like, you know, like I said, a lot of people, you know, reached out to me, but I talked to very few people face to face about the article. Most people contacted me, I don't know, on Facebook. They got my number from somebody, and it's like people really see me, and it's for I feel invisible most of the time. So it was nice to feel seen.
Get the baby's car.
Daddy, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you.
As you see, we have preparation of going out of the house and going to the hospital. My wife is doing very well. See attention. AJ.
These things need to be mailed today. To leave.
Let's go to school.
Carry everyone. Should have turned my bed.
Grandma?
We're gonna have to go first and after. You don't drop us off.
Yeah, Mom, that's great.
Nothing really made me feel bad, or even today. Like my daughter, she makes me the happy. Like there's no joy that you feel like when you have a kid. It's just beautiful. But even then, it's like I still can't be as happy as I want to be because I know I killed my first child. Like, it's always gonna sit with me. And I don't think I'll ever really be 100% fulfilled with life because I'll always have that pain in me of what I did.
And also, you're gonna need something else for the camera. Cut the now, right? Call the door. Call the door.
When I got my abortion, you go through a whole process. I was there for about 5 hours. They ask you meet with about 4 different people. They ask you all types of personal questions. You know, you can have the baby, you can adopt it, you can set it up for adoption. We'll help you take care of it. All these questions. I feel like the last resort they want you to do is to get an abortion. So they make you talk to all these people. And the last woman I spoke to, she was a black woman with dreads. She was really trying to figure out my situation because I didn't want to talk about it. And she asked me if I wanted to see the sonogram of the baby. I said no, automatically. Because I knew if I took one look at that picture, I would change my mind. And that's my biggest regret. I wish I had that picture so bad. I really do. woman who can do the impossible. She liked to be called Sorrentini. It's hard to encapsulate her because she's so much more than what words can say. My father, my hero, the man of my dreams. I could remember sitting in church, listening to him preach, doing my best to write down every single word he was saying because I knew one day I wanted to preach those same words.
Lincoln Little minor delays inbound 10 to 15 minutes out, 30 minutes each way at the Hollis Zone. Very tough ride right now. Getting to and over from the Albert Crossing. And I'll hit
Why don't you drive it?
I can't do it at the same time. I was gonna try to focus it, but
I'm big on family. My parents homeschooled all 5 of us. There's 6 of us now, but very close to my family. I'm very close to my father and my mother. A lot of who I am, I can love so much is because I was given so much love. I was taught so much love growing up. I'm scared that my love, just my love, won't be enough for her. I fear she won't be happy because she doesn't have a normal family. To me, a normal family is having your mom and dad in one household, you know, going through regular stuff. You know, it's hard saying that your father just didn't really love me the way I loved him. You know, it's hard for me to say he doesn't love you the way that you would think a father would. You know, it's hard to say that. It's hard. I can say, no doubt, my dad, he loves me. There's not a time where I can't call my father. He's not going to pick up the phone and be there no matter what. I saw my dad every single day, growing up. You know, a lot of who I am is because of my father. I always wanted to be like my dad. He was a pastor. I wanted to be a pastor at one point. I always wanted to make my dad, you know, proud. I saw how my dad forgave people and people trusted him and they confided in him and they looked to him for help and wisdom. And I saw how much he helped people. No matter what was going on, he constantly had a smile on his face. Okay, now to answer your couple questions, right? Which pregnancy is this? This is your 5th pregnancy. You have any miscarriages or abortions? 5th pregnancy. You have 4 children at home. Any of them are premature? Do you know your blood type is? Your last name is spelled E-V-B. Yeah. Alex, please don't film my face.
I grew up watching all my siblings compete as gymnasts. I couldn't wait for it to be my turn to also be a gymnast just like the rest of them, but I never got my chance. I began running track when I was in the 4th grade. One day in school, my teacher was handing out flyers for my town's recreation track and field team. I remember before my dad had told me he ran track in high school, so I was inspired to run. I reached a point in my life where I was really working so hard. As an athlete, it was still something that, I didn't want my first, the loss of my first pregnancy to have gone in vain. So I told myself, like, I did what I did, and I can never change it, I can never take it back, even though there were so many times I wish I could go back in time, and I couldn't. So the only thing I could do was make it right any way possible, and I feel like the only way I could make it right was to be something. And even in doing that, I wasn't able to, because the pain just ran too deep. And everything I said I was going to do, all the promises I made to God, all the promises I made to myself, I couldn't keep them because I never took the time to work through the emotions that I was feeling, or the things that I dreamed about, or my thoughts. I never took the time to heal. I just automatically said, like, listen, this is what you gotta do. You gotta get on track. You gotta run well. And you gotta prove to yourself that it wasn't, the big mistake that you're making it out to be, which I did. It never really, as much as I wanted to do good in track, it would have never, any accomplishment I made, it didn't over, compensate for the pain that I was feeling.
You find it.
Hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Say how you doing.
Hi.
Say my name is Jace.
My name is.
How old are you?
Hi.
Do you know how old you are? Jace, how old are you?
Hi.
Say 2.
No.
2.
2.
Hey, don't use that.
You'd like to say something to the camera, my wife?
No, I'm having a contraction. Already ready?
Yeah, it's ready.
I'm sick of it.
Okay, you're these are the bars. So what happens, you need to scoop your... No, this is the bar.
Oh, okay, I see.
No, hold on to that. You scoop your body
She's
down.
so short. You're shorter than me, so you can...
Scoop your body down. We're gonna break this.
I'm just moving your bed up higher, okay? Sorry. Okay, yeah.
Maybe you should go eat something.
Okay. Now we're gonna give you. You said it this way? You want me to bring the bed down?
No, you can push it a little bit. Let's just push it a little bit. Okay?
Why was I so chicken when you said to push?
Because you thought you were gonna push your baby right in.
Chips girl. My little mini me. I couldn't believe it when the doctor told me I was having a girl. And it's funny, my best friend was always like, it's a little speck in there, we're not gonna know anything, don't be stressed. First day, full on baby in there, fingers, toes, eyes. Being a single parent on campus and an athlete wasn't easy. It wasn't easy having people stare at me. It wasn't easy bringing my daughter to class. It wasn't easy walking around with 3 bags, a car seat, because I didn't have a car in the beginning of when I first had my daughter, and I had to bounce from car to car, so I had to walk around with the car seat. It was to me, it was hard. So it was hard. I didn't really feel Like I was a good person till my daughter was born. My whole pregnancy, I couldn't be happy. I cried so much. You know, when we're younger, we think, you know, we get married, have kids, how the experience is gonna be. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. You know, giving life is such a beautiful thing. It's a blessing that God has given women. But I couldn't feel that joy when I was pregnant. I couldn't feel none of that. All I could see was the life I had to give up. Until, you know, the day that my daughter was born. It was the first time, it might have been the first time where I felt joy in a long time. Very long time. Jace, my daughter, my world, my very being. I look at her every single day.
You ready to cry, Herman?
Just as strong as she is.
You know grandma's gotta cry.
Steve, look at that. This is what you're gonna be doing, honey, after you have the baby. Exercise.
Exercise, right? 50
Let me see that. Yeah, I was gonna. I thought it was off.
You know what? We're gonna break the bed. Just why not? How can you turn it on? Is that better? Is that good position?
Keep pushing the button till it's off.
You wanna cover yourself?
Yes, let's look at it. Side, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not revealing everything. But
You know, only do certain things, not everything.
Get her good side or something?
Yeah, just on the side.
I'm not getting
You still want to show the world, right?
That's what I understand. Some of these husbands.
Her friend had it done. Her friend had it done.
His butt thing?
Yeah, they do. But give us a couple push and we'll break it back. Come on.
Take a deep breath in and down. And again, and then you bear down.
Push like if I'm gonna go to bed.
Exactly.
Have a bow, baby.
She did so many.
When you told me to push, I got chicken.
Does that surprise you?
Where is the milk? Okay, take a deep breath in and out.
Take a deep breath. That's a good push.
Take it in, deep breath in.
Pull back to the bar. Yes, push.
Just push back down a little bit.
Push, push. Come on. Push. Push. Push, push.
Chin to chest. That's it.
It's been 3 years, going on 4 since I had the abortion. I can still cry about it. I can still vividly see it all, and it could break me down. But every time I talk about it, I feel a little bit better. You know, anytime someone hears my story, I feel a little bit better that they know whatever you're going through, you can go through the same thing. And you can make it through it. Yeah. The night that I really, where I felt I was ready to go through it, because I've battled with suicide for a long time, and I've always harmed myself. I cut myself since freshman year in high school. I started doing that, and nobody knew. Didn't make it visible. So I feel like I've always had the urge to harm myself just because I just felt empty inside. But when I was really ready, I could only see the image playing back, the moment playing back in my head when I had an abortion. I played back in my head over and over again. I could see the baby coming out of me. I could just see the hate I had for myself at that time. And I just didn't want to feel that way anymore. It's like every day I have to look at myself in the mirror. And it's like, how many days can you wake up and just see hate? And even though I had a beautiful daughter and I have a loving family and I have great friends, I couldn't see love in myself. And, at that time, I was tired of it. I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't live not seeing anything beautiful inside of me. And at that moment, I didn't want to do it anymore. I just felt like everything would be better without me. How can I raise a daughter and I don't even like who I am? Why would I want her to be like me? And I know people say suicide is a very selfish act, but in my head, I felt like it was selfish of me to give something so pure, giving her me something just so ruined. And I just felt it would be better to just be without me. So that's the abortion is what played over and over in my head. And that pain, it can always give me motivation. It can give me, it's weird, inspiration to want not to be here. I just have to really fall into that moment, and it just turns me into somebody else. As I continue to take the pills, I had broke my phone, and the screen was blacked out. I was angry, I threw my phone. It was weird because it was like something in me wanted to live. It was like something fighting with me, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But I continued to take the pills. All I wanted to see was an image of my daughter. I wanted to see an image of her, but I couldn't because all the pictures were on my cell phone. I just kept saying, I just want to see her face. I just want to see her face. Like maybe me seeing her would make me stop, but I couldn't. No matter how hard I tried. And at that time, I had reached out to a friend on my computer. I didn't tell her what was going on. All I told her was, if you know where Tiffany is, a friend of mine, can you tell her I need her? That's all I said. So I just continued to take the pills and just it was like that inside, that little person in me was trying to get help, but not. It was like I wanted Tiffany to show up, at the same time I didn't. And as I was passing out, I could hear the door open and I could hear her voice. And her over me just trying to get me to respond. I could hear her voice. The next thing I remember was a woman that I think it was the ambulance paramedic over me, getting me to respond. I had a lot of cuts all over me before I even began taking the pills. I started cutting myself. I don't know. I could hear them talking. I was in and out. I could hear her saying, the cuts are fine. They're just superficial. We just need to get whatever is in her system out. And then I was asleep, and then I woke up and spoke. They took me to the mental institution that they had there in the hospital. And I had no idea what I was in for. Right when I went in, there was grown men screaming, cursing out other people. A lot of them were drug addicts. And that was hard. And after that, I sat by myself for a long time until a woman, she had came in. She seemed normal, fine, not on anything. She just walked in of the room, and she saw me. She looked at me for a while, saw me sitting there, and then she just came and sat across from me. You know, she started telling me her story, and what she's been through, I can't compare. You know, she was raped by her father. Her and her sister. So she told me she had 3 kids and she doesn't feel connected to none of them because she doesn't know how to love. Listening to her, it's like you feel so much compassion. It's like nothing but natural born love, human nature love when you see another person. And I remember I saw her again. I can't remember her name. I wish I could. But I could see her face. She had blonde hair. She was pretty for an older woman. And I could remember holding her hand. That was the big change. It changed me. Like I said, it didn't change nothing. Next day it was problems.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Can we do it again? Did you still the contraction? No, I don't know. I was just pushing. Right. Do it with the contraction.
Making some progress, okay?
Okay. Wait for the contraction.
I'm feeling when I push.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead and push.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Good, that's the
10.
way to push. Keep pushing.
Great. All right. 1, 2,
A little pushing,
3,
okay?
4, 5, 6.
You know, to me, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Like, it's a lot of pressure to be put on me because it's not easy. Like I always say, it's not easy telling your story. I just become comfortable with it. Doesn't mean it's easy.
Why it's not easy?
Because it's still so much pain that comes from it. The pain will never change. It's the reaction to the pain that changes. That's the only thing that's changed about me. The pain still feels the same, but I react different to it. Now I still do cry sometimes, but now where I used to, I don't sit in bed all day. I don't ask God, why me, or think about suicide like that. I accept my pain and I move forward with it. It's just you grow from whatever you're going through. You either ascend or descend from it. It's really your option. And for a long time I was descending because I didn't care. I was just so depressed about it. And you know, I'm not gonna say I'm always strong every day where I'm ready to take on the problems and the pain. I still have, like I said, I still have my down days. And
But I have to fight now. Because now I don't feel like it's just me. Like, it's not just, ever since I told my story once, and the people that contacted me about it, now I feel like it's my duty now. Like, I chose to be a leader, so now I have to stick to it. I can't run and hide. What is that gonna show the people that I opened up to? So it's a lot of responsibility, but I decided I was ready to tell it. I decided I was ready to step up and share my story, share my pain.
Not done. I think like 3 years ago.
All your life they will tell you you're not good enough, strong enough, or talented enough. All your life they will say no, and you will tell them yes. Know who you are. I am powerful, determined, strong, fearless, dreamer, creator, caring, honest, loving, passionate, confident, a woman, inspired, hopeful, faithful. I am passionate.
Things that I've been through in my life now have built me to be a person an unbelievable strong person that I always wanted to be. So you never really know who's on your side or not, blood or not blood.
Why you trust me?
I trust you because of your passion for film. And it seems weird that I barely know you. I don't know nothing about your personal life or what you went through, or if you can ever relate to any type of situation I've been in. And know you from a hole in the wall, but it's like something about a connection where if I would meet a runner, a famous runner, I could talk to them about my deepest desires of track because I know they understand. And it's like when I talk about the films that you showed us in class, it was just like I could see like things where I was so inspired by from film and the film aspect. Like I was telling you, the Saw the Earth. I'm obsessed with that documentary, and it's because he was so open about sharing his story and for the world to see it in a film way. I don't know.
Okay, what's the question?
The question is, what do you think about my life?
What I think? You've got a beautiful life. That's too much of a big what? I'm proud of you. I believe you have a future. What else?
That's it. It's the question. You have to really think about it.
Think about it. What do I think about your life?
Yeah.
You're blessed. What more can I say? What do I think about your life? You've had a lot more opportunity than I ever had. That's the truth. Okay, cut.
Another Ariana. Thank you, everyone. I really do, guys. Hope you enjoyed the film, learned a lot about me, and I think we want to do a Q&A, so if you have any question, feel free to ask. If not, I know you want to get out of here because I was one of those too. So,
anyone have a question for Asher?
Hi. First I want to say you're amazing and you're an inspiration to all of us here. And I wanted to ask you, what are you up to now? What are you doing?
Right now, I work in a film industry. I don't know if you guys watch Black Ink, but I work in that show right now. A coordinator / producer. I'm trying to move more into the documentary world, but I'm staying into the industry, just working up my credits. But right now, I'm working in film and reality TV.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it?
Good, how are you?
Good. I have two questions here.
Okay.
So the first question is, what pushed you to go talk to Kelly Piper for your second pregnancy? And then the second one is, what do you do today to kind of maintain and reinforce your positive mental health?
What pushed me to talk to Kelly Piper is because I knew for a fact I was not going to have another abortion. So I was like, okay, I want to still run. I know before I did, I looked up girls in the past, like in other schools, like in very big schools, who usually they've lost their scholarship, or it was really the discretion of the coach at the time. They got kicked out of the team, or if they tried to keep running, it was very difficult to end up stop running. So I knew for a fact that I wanted to keep running, so I was like, I obviously have to talk to athletics, because I really didn't know I was the first female athlete here at UB to get pregnant, or to publicly come out with it, and try to continue to compete. I know of men that had children during their time, but it doesn't affect the men. You know, they can continue to pee. So I spoke to her, and they were very supportive. They told me that my scholarship will not be taken, and they were going to help me. And it was really what I wanted to do. They told me I didn't even have to come back running. They're like, you don't even have to run. You can finish off school, because we know it's going to be very hard, but I did not. I wanted to keep running. So what's the second question?
What do you do today to maintain and reinforce your positive mental health?
Today, I keep my family and my great friends very close to me. They're my positive resource to keep going, because it is still hard, and obviously still struggle. I still have internal suffering that I go through, but I pray and I try to come closer to God. I feel like I really went through those things because at the time I was stuck in college life. Like, you know, when we come here, our morals kind of get thrown out the window. We're not really thinking, we're living life. And I wasn't really staying true to who I was raised up to be. So I'm trying to stay true to that person, and more do the right decisions than living wild like I know y'all did, because I was there. But that's it. Thank you. Cut, 'cause I know y'all want to go. Is that it?
Asher, can you tell us about when you did return? Tell us the rest of your story, how you finished out your career.
When I did return, it was very hard. My first year coming back when I ran, I did not do too well. I lost a lot of weight. I was very, very skinny, and even my family, like people that would come up to me and be like, you need to eat a chicken wing or something. It took me about 2 years to gain my weight back and lifting. So that was very hard. It was very hard on my body to come back. It took me about 2 years to really get back to how I was running before, because I was doing very well pre-pregnancy. So it took me a while to get back, but I did. I wanted to give up many times, but my coaches and my teammates, they pushed me through to keep running, because it was not easy to be an athlete here with baby.
How you doing? Yeah, I just want to know what events did you run in track?
What did I run?
Yeah, what events?
I did the 400-meter hurdles. Sometimes I would do the whipper, not often, but all the relays, and I did long jump.
Do you ever miss it?
I miss it very much. I tried for a little while to run after college, but I was not getting that college check no more, and I had to provide for a baby by myself. So at that time, my parents and family were very supportive of me when I was in college. Like, listen, you want to, because my daughter would stay with me for a month. She would stay with my parents in New York City for a month, so we kind of flip-flop. So once I was done college, they said, listen, girl, we supported that dream of you running. You make it right then, you got to choose. You got to get a job and start, supporting your daughter, and that's what I did, so got a job.
Hey, well, you have a great story. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments for Asher?
I know this is a very tough topic, but I had this conversation with my friends about abortion. So if you will have to tell someone, a woman that gets pregnant, that this age, like 20, 21, or like a difficult point, or maybe like you're not planning to have it and it happens, what would be your advice or your speech towards that?
All right, your accent's a little deep there.
You didn't understand what I said?
Not really.
Basically,
I want to answer your question.
No, it's okay. I'll try my best. Basically, what would you say to someone that is at my age, 21 years old, and gets pregnant and has to decide what to do?
I was 20 at the time, and I will tell you, I felt 16 and pregnant, and at the time, my mom got married when she was 18, and she had 5 kids by the time she was 25. So when I'm here 2021 and I'm like, I'm pregnant, and when I finally told my parents, they're looking at me like, you're a grown woman. We're in college, we forget like how old we are. Sometimes as seniors, you're 2021, you're a grown person. You're a man, you're a woman, and you're doing grown things. So you have to really, but when we're here, we're kind of college and kind of baby, like we're still living a little free. So at that time, I had to be like, I am not a kid anymore. Like I'm not a little girl. Like I knew what I was doing. I knew I have to be a grown up, like we all think we are when we're in college, until something real happens to us, and we're like, I'm a baby. No, I'm not ready for this. And then my mom looked at me and was like, listen, I got married at 17, and I was with kids, marriage, doing a thing. You are 21 years old. Get it together. So you have to really look in the mirror and realize that you're not a kid. And if you want to live an adult life, then when adult things happen to you, you have to be an adult. And do what's best for you, and definitely talk to people. My first mistake when I first got pregnant, I was younger. I was only a sophomore at the time in college. I just transferred here. I didn't start here as a freshman. I transferred here from Oklahoma. And I was like, I didn't even compete yet because I tore my hamstring the first time I come. I never even put on a jersey when I was pregnant. And I'm like, these people do not know me. They owe me nothing. I haven't got a point on a board for them. They're going to get rid of me. And in my mind, I was like, I want to run. Like, I was so obsessed with giving up that dream at that time and being so young and not, I really thought I had no support, and I kind of wish I spoke to somebody. I don't know if it would have been different from the second time because I grew a relationship here as a student athlete, but you really have to talk to someone that you trust and, realize that you're not a kid and you gotta be an adult and make adult decisions.
Thank you.
Other questions?
How did your parents take it at first?
How did my parents take it? So I was very scared to tell my parents. My dad is a huge support of my track career. So I actually called my grandmother and I told her first. And I was still at school. I was like, you have to tell them for me because I was too scared. She did tell me my dad cried. That he was I don't think he was disappointed. He was more hurt because he knew what I was going to go through. He knew that I might have to give up my dream. And my dad knew how much I loved track. Like, out of everyone in my family, he knew how obsessed I was with the thought of being an Olympian, doing things that, a lot of people don't get to do in their life as an athlete. And I think he knew that it was going to be very tough for me. My mom was shocked, but as I said right to her, she was like, she's a woman. Like, what did you think? Like, I was living, my boyfriend at the time, she's like, what did you think they was doing? They living together. You think, like, guys think like, oh, nothing's happening. But, I'm sure everybody has been in a relationship and say please. But, she told me to be a woman. And, once they talked to me, they were very, 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 very supportive and helped me a lot as I was a student athlete. do feel like I've changed. I feel, you know, before I did this, I was very scared of what people would think about me. Like, I've been a student. I've been around people, and I've had people come up here and come to these events and have people talk a lot of crap about someone who basically spread their entire life in front of you. And it was very hard for me to be like, all right, let me do what they do, knowing that people are going to talk about me and have, you know, basically say bad things about me or just push me to the side. But like I said before, I really did this because I know of people going through the same thing I do. Like, and it doesn't have to be just a female thing. Like, men go through it just as much as mental illness as girls do. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure, I hope some of you had the privilege of playing with Solomon Jackson, but his passing hurt a lot of people. In my last year here, I wasn't running, I was more of an advocate for students, where I told students, like, hey, if you're going through something, come talk to me, like, we can whatever. I had dudes that walk around here like they're really tough, crying and telling me that they're alcoholics now. Like, they couldn't deal with watching one of their best friends die in front of their face. Like, so we all experience things in our lives that are going to change us, that could destroy us. And to this day, I know some of those dudes that won't go get help. Like, I can't say I know all the things to say and know all the research about mental illness. And I'm like, listen, you need to talk to someone who can really help you. I can try to, you know, be a kind shoulder, but there's not much I can do for you what you're going through. And they still will not, because they are scared to let people see them look so weak. And that's what telling our story, people get confused. You look weak. They're like, oh, you weren't strong enough. This is what happens. Like, and I was like, I'm not weak for doing this. So I changed in a way where I want to feel like I'm being strong now. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm weak because I'm telling people what happened to me now. And a lot of people don't speak of what they're going through because they feel like they're going to look weak, or people won't understand, or they're ashamed. Like, this is a lot of shame. It took me years to start to even go to my sister or to say, like, listen, I'm feeling like this. It took a lot. If you knew me here as an athlete, you knew I was serious about my business. Like, so many people, like, I would have never thought, you out of everybody, I was that athlete, like, when you want to do an extra workout, I'm like, let's go, let's go. You gonna get up at 6 in the morning, we going in the pool? Like, what are we doing? Like, I was always that person where someone could hit me up and like, hey, I'm really trying to get better. Can you help me do this and do that? Like, well, they were like, I would never have pictured you in your room crying, cutting yourself, doing all these things. People could literally, people that knew me, best friends, family, they couldn't fathom it. They're like, what, you? And you don't know, looks can be very deceiving. You don't know what someone's going through. So it's definitely, I feel stronger. I feel kind of, you know, good about myself, that I am able to find the bravery to actually speak on things that people don't speak about. But your girl feeling good.
Anyone else? Well, the word brave. I don't know if there's a better word to describe you. Can we just give it up for Asher one more time? Okay, so we are going to take a few minutes afterwards if there's any of you that would like to speak to Asher one-on-one. I also will share over email Asher's contact information. And if you want to follow Asher on social media or just stay connected with her as well. So feel free to stay after if you'd like to have a little time one-on-one with Asher. And thank you again.